Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as was the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. Now, I do want to go in depth on a few things within this video because I have been seeing a few things happening right now around Basel III, big banks, things like that. So we are actually going to be addressing a few things happening right now around our current financial system and what I believe is going to be happening over the course of the next few weeks and even months ahead. So big shout to ISO 2022. Let's do it. We actually see here that 2023, integrating digital assets and crypto into traditional finance. Current TradFi digital asset offerings plus top institutional crypto deals since 2013. And check this out. Emerging tech research, integrating digital assets and crypto into traditional finance. Despite the bear market, traditional financial institutions forge ahead, investing in blockchain to redefine financial ecosystems. Interesting. Then also, over here, we actually have all of the big players. We could actually see that a lot of them have already been in. BBVA, BlackRock, BNP Paribas, BNY Mellon, Citi, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton. I mean, guys, these are major players that are tapping in. Do you understand that they have already been in for a very long time? Now they are ready to fully scale this. We've been looking into this heavily. Check this out. Top traditional finance investors by number of crypto and blockchain and VC deals since 2017. Franklin Templeton, 19. Goldman Sachs, 12. Citigroup, 10. JP Morgan, 8. Guys, these are leaders in our traditional financial space. Tapping in heavily into blockchain DLT. What does that tell you? Well, we're going to go in depth on that. What is the Basel III endgame and why are banks worked up about it? This was July 24th. So for those out there that don't know what Basel III is, this is international banking regulations. It was originally developed by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. And this is a framework that originally got introduced. Now, Basel I and Basel II, I should say, was originally introduced around roughly 2007, 2008. And it was a response to the crisis. Now, Basel III, it's to actually strengthen the regulation, the supervision, and even the risk management within the banking sector. This is why the big banks are actually terrified, because there is now going to be capital requirements, leverage ratios, liquidity requirements, counterparty credit risk, macroprudential regulation, enhanced risk management, and even governance. Like, this is going to be a big change. And what its overall goal is to create a more resilient and stable banking system by addressing the weaknesses exposed during the global financial system. But the problem, or the global financial crisis within our global financial system. But the problem with this, and the reason why big banks are actually worked up about this, is they actually like when there is a massive financial crisis, because they actually get more money. They get wealthier, even when the retail sector gets completely screwed over. Now, why am I bringing back up Basel III in this endgame? Well, because we actually just seen a recent post on Christmas from the American banker, Basel III endgame, 5 things to watch in 2024. And check this out. So January 16th, the Basel III endgame is entering its end stage. January 16th is the deadline for public to comment on joint proposal from the Federal Reserve, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corp, the FDIC, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency that would rewrite capital obligations for all banks with at least 100 billion of assets. Now remember, that's why the big banks are shaken up right now, because again, they can no longer manipulate the financial system. But there has been a few things to really look forward to. Now, they go over a few things within this article, but number one, GFC versus SVB. This is a big one to look into as well. But they also go in depth on the competitive landscape. Again, this is one to really kind of look at if you are, focused on blockchain, DLT, things like that, because the big banks, they are in competition. Let it be known that, remember what we've talked about with ISO 20022, right? With ISO 20022, it allows for the big banks and even smaller banks to finally upgrade their internal systems. I've talked about this in the past. I think it was Anderson that actually put it out. Bob Way, ex-Ripple employee, actually said that ISO 20022 is a major accelerant for big banks, small banks, any bank to tap in to blockchain and DLT. This is going to truly level the playing field. But at first, one bank that goes live with DLT and blockchain-based services, it's going to accelerate the push towards blockchain, DLT, and things like that. But beyond that, they definitely go in depth on how the big banks have been extremely frustrated with this move. And I think, simply put, this is probably going to create a lot of pressure on the big banks and most likely cause chaos within the financial space. So definitely stay tuned to Basel 3. A lot of changes are happening on the forefront of 2024, and Basel 3 is actually getting into the end game position now. Now, I'm not going to pay for the rest of this article, but if you guys do want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to. But I will say this. I want to go back in time to 2016. And the reason why I'm going back to 2016 is because we've seen this cost-cutting case for banks model paper that Ripple put out regarding XRP. And we actually have here the ROI of using Ripple and XRP for global interbank settlements, February 2016. And if we go over here, we can actually see digital assets as a solution. Now, again, a lot of this is still 100% on par with even today's market. I understand that this is from 2016, but as we actually look at this, right, we can see the value of utilizing a digital asset. But also check this one out down here, this statement down here. Let me zoom in just real quick so that you guys can see it. So we have, for the first time, digital assets can enable real-time value exchange anywhere in the world, providing liquidity on demand and significantly reducing costs associated with treasury and payments operations. Liquidity and Basel III compliance. XRP, the native digital asset of the Ripple Consensus Network, offers these capabilities and can support liquidity between any two currencies. XRP enables the transfer of value anywhere in the world in an entirely frictionless manner with fewer barriers to entry than the correspondent banking system. Now, again, the reason why I bring this back up is because liquidity within the banking sector is about to get constricted with Basel III. I think that this is where we start to see digital assets being tapped in heavily. I think, and I've mentioned this even in the past, that we look at the timeline and we look at all the big events that have led us to this point right now, right? A lot of people will say, oh, it's a coincidence, it's this, it's that. I don't believe in that, right? Like, as we look at XRP, once we got clarity for XRP, a month later, we seen the BIS working with Ripple on CPMI, which is, again, core infrastructure around cross-border payments. A few months later, right, just fast forward a few months later, all of a sudden, Ripple's getting a major payment license within Singapore. They're moving heavily within the central bank of even Ireland. And they continue to make massive strides around the world within specific areas. That all happened this year as we lead up to Basel III becoming a big deal. We have stablecoin regulations going live next year. We have Mika going live next year. We have all of these big changes on the horizon. Do you honestly think that this is all by coincidence? Also, big shout out to 24 Hours Crypto 1, going back a little bit to the beginning of December. He posted this video. What do you see? XRP to unleash trillions in idle liquidity and simplify global transactions. They're gearing up. 2024 is going to be a wild ride. We can 100% confirm that the guardrails will be up. Remember, we're still so early in this. This technology will outlive us. We are fortunate enough to be part of this revolution. And I completely agree. This technology is going to be around forever. 100 plus years. We have a long way to go and until this technology actually reaches its full on value. But does that mean that XRP won't be valuable before that? No, absolutely not. And I've talked about this. I think that XRP is going to be very valuable even in 2024. But check this video out.
The tremendous liquidity we have in the world that is sitting idle.
For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other.
The tremendous liquidity we have in the world that is sitting idle.
Second one is more complicated. It has to do with liquidity. So imagine that you have a pair of currencies for which there is not a complementary demand. You need to go and search for a third-party currency in order to make this settlement actually happen. And this really complicates things. So we need to put pieces of technology that can make more efficiency this use of liquidity so that more transactions can be settled.
So it just passes through that currency for that period of time.
So there you guys have it. And, as we really look at the efficiencies here, yeah, it's 100% crucial to note this because I get it, right? Everyone's going to be talking about how all of this is so bullish. It's so incredible, but XRP is still not doing anything special in terms of price action. I want you guys to understand, right? When we are talking about what's happening here, we're not talking about a decentralized exchange. We're not talking about, some sort of nonsense that is so cliche around crypto. We are talking about one of the largest fundamental changes that has been building and brewing and happening around our global financial system. Think about that. A massive transformative change is underway right now. And by the way, for those out there that want to actually learn more about this, I actually just updated my website, NCashOfficial.com. There's the Ultimate Crypto course. Now, this is not like your typical course out there around crypto. I'm not going to try to show you guys on nonsense. No, this actually provides you a full in-depth view on what's happening right now around our global financial system, but so much more. You guys need to go check it out if you guys are within the range of learning about this new financial system, understanding what's happening, and also if you are interested in learning more about it, because I think that right now, we are at a significant moment in time. We are on the edge of a massive change, and it's already in progress. It's been happening for a while. The World Economic Forum told us about it back in 2016, the fourth industrial revolution. It's here. And it's happening now. And by the way, big shout out to Black Swan Capitalist. This goes back to November. He had Lynette Zhang, which, by the way, big shout out to Lynette. I actually watch her show quite a bit. She explained that the BIS, has their money flower, which is a tool or mechanism to accelerate early adoption. When Rosie Rios said the train has already left the station, this is what she was hinting at. The winners in crypto have already been selected. Check this out.
The Bank for International Settlements publishes their money flower. And there is a small space in that money flower for those private cryptocurrencies. So I agree with you that the winners of this have already been chosen.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Right. And I think that you just named the two that are most likely that. And I think also Wall Street's totally adopted Bitcoin.
So there you guys have it. And again, as we really address this, yeah, I do believe that the elites have already chosen the winners. I've talked about this in the past as well. Like, as we look at Ripple, as we look at XRP, as we look at Stellar with even XLM, we look at Quant with QNT, we even look at Hedera. We look at these big utility giants in the space, and guess what we can connect back to? The BIS. We can connect back to the IMF. We can connect back to these elite organizations. They have already been chosen. I strongly believe this. I also think that 99% of the space, as it gets wiped out fully, those that are left standing will be the chosen ones. And this is why we do take a lot of time out to look into the specific players, look into the leaders around the space, look into the deep connections that nobody's actually looking into, look into the PDF files that specifically name XRP, specifically name XLM, QNT, you name it. Most people are not looking past the front cover of half of the BIS's projects. But when you look into it, you could see what's coming. You could understand what's happening. 93% of central banks are looking into CBDCs. And beyond that, guess what we need with CBDCs? We need gold, but we need gold that can be accounted for. Basel III also implements regulations around gold and even the holdings regarding gold. They need to be accurate. There's no more, paper this, paper that. No, they need to actually have physical gold in their reserves. The changes are already here. The steps being taken are already here as well. Like I said, I could talk about XRP all day long on why the price isn't moving or this, that, what. No, I want to talk to you guys about the significant change on the horizon here, because it's happening and it has been happening for a while now. And I know that sounds like, oh, it's been happening for a while. I get it. We have to wait. We have to do this. No. It's been already in progress. The fourth industrial revolution is upon us. Why do you think that we are starting to see AI becoming a big trend? Why do you think that all of the elite organizations that have been telling us what their plan is for a while now are now heavily hinting at this digital revolution? The time is now. Don't turn back. A sense of urgency is here now around digital currencies. Like, that's what's been happening. That's what they've been telling us within the IMF. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on for more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.